Mercedes-Benz GLC 300 4MATIC and a Tesla Model Y long range. I'm going to go through the differences between both of these cars and answer the question, is the Tesla Model Y a luxury car? A lot of people think because it's so plain on the interior that it's not a luxury vehicle, so we're going to test it against the Mercedes-Benz GLC, which is their best-selling car. It's considered a luxury vehicle, and we're going to show you the differences in cost, performance, and then features that the cars have on the inside. So let's jump right to the interior and look at some of these luxury features. And later in the video, we're going to show you a new accessory from LazeFit. As soon as we enter the Mercedes, you will notice we have some switches here. Now on Mercedes, all the seat adjustments come on the door handles. So it does have heated seats. You can see this blank button here is for cooled seats. That's just not an option that's fitted on this 2018 model. Down here, you have lumbar support. So that is a luxury feature that the Tesla also has. You can open and close your trunk with this button right here. You have your standard window switches and mirror adjustments, lock and unlock. So let's see what the Tesla looks like. So the Tesla right off the bat is a lot more simple. All we have is our button to open the door, and then we have our 4 window switches. These are all automatic as well. So with one click, the window goes down. The question is, where are all of those other adjustments that the Mercedes has making it an electric car? Well, some of them are down here. So we do have our lumbar support buttons here, and you can adjust the seat. So as far as opening and closing the trunk, we have buttons that are put in the main infotainment screen. So when your car's in park like this one is right now, you click this and the trunk closes up. You can also open up the front, click that button right there, and it releases. Now it's not a full automatic release. As you can see, the hood's just popped, so you still have to lift it up. But it has all of those buttons worked into here. It also has the charge port, so you tap that and the charge port opens up as well. So a lot of the buttons that are on luxury cars here in the Tesla are just simply put into the screen, and this always pops right up, so it's easy for you to access them. Think about this. You go ahead, you put your car in park, your hand is already right here. If you need to open the trunk, you click open the trunk and it opens right up. So there's a lot of things that become second nature. It's just a little bit of an adjustment at first. But everything is on this simple shift stock, very common. It's even the same in the Mercedes. Let's go back over there. Now, seat comfort on the Mercedes-Benz, it's obviously very good, and these seats are gonna last you a long time. Now, people have spoken about the seats. I previously said in a video that Mercedes seats last forever, and they're like, well, my seat's split in the middle. Yeah, I know over time, like my mom had a wagon at like 110,000 miles, the seat split. So I think that lasts a pretty long time to me. Most people don't have their cars for 100,000 miles. So I guess everyone in the comments does. So overall, seat comfort is good in this thing. Nothing crazy. The materials are a nice leather material. They seem very durable. So that's all good. The seats in the Tesla, however, this is after 60,000 miles, and these are the white seats. So they have done a really nice job of holding up. I also take care of my cars. So just sitting in here, it has like more padding like in the right places. You feel the seat, especially on this lower back, kind of give you support right off the bat. Now my Tesla has lumbar support in the passenger seat. The new ones do not. They took that away. They said a lot of people were just not using that feature. I think that's partially true. I think the other truth to that is because of the spider. Anybody know what type of spider this is? The steering wheel on the GLC, nice leather material, perforated leather here, and then just smooth leather up top. You can already see that even after only 34,000 miles, it's starting to get a sheen to it, whereas my Tesla steering wheel still looks almost brand new. The other thing you'll notice on the interior, now this is a 2018, I know the new ones look different, but that's the point. Look how awful that this screen looks. You know, we're only 5 years later and this screen just looks totally antiquated. It's very small. And as we come down here, it's a nice, clean, and fairly simple look. But again, all of this stuff can be handled through software in the Tesla. So the Tesla maintains a very clean look. And not only can it be handled through software, it can be handled through voice commands. So you can say, for example, in the Tesla, turn down air conditioning, or put it to level 6, or put it on auto, or set air to 65 degrees, and it'll do it. In all fairness, the new Mercedes, and I did this in the brand new EQE that I was just driving, you're able to do voice commands like turn on massage seats, and it works. So there are voice commands in this, but the car doesn't evolve after you buy it. Like, for example, if you look at the interior of a 2018 Model 3, it looks almost identical to the same as the 2023 Model Model 3s that are coming out. Now there is Project Highland, there's a big refresh coming, but over that 5-year period, they haven't done much change. But where the Mercedes, they have made a bunch of changes over year, which devalues these a ton. The software does not get updated over time. My Tesla is a 2020. It has the same software as the 2023s that are coming out right now. So it's nice as an owner to get these updates that they've made over time that make the car more efficient, give the car more features through software. Imagine if you could take your Mercedes in and they could add buttons here or fill these in, or they're like, oh, we're gonna add cooled seats now, we're gonna fill this in. That's what the Tesla does. It's crazy the updates they can make. You can also get things like full self-driving. I can get an acceleration boost on mine that takes the 0 to 60 time down to 4.2 seconds from its current 4.8 seconds. You cannot do that in the Mercedes from the factory. You'd have to buy the next model up. That brings me to my next thing, is the performance. I am going to take the GLC for a ride in a second, but 0 to 60 in this from a 255 horsepower 4-cylinder engine is just over 6 seconds. Model Y has 385 horsepower, and you can see we got batteries underneath it. We have more storage up front. There's an engine up front there. There's also additional storage in the back of the car if we go down here. It's my daughter's sandwich kit. I don't know if that's sending the right message. And we go to the back of the GLC. There is surprisingly some storage down underneath here. I was surprised at how much there was. So you do have some storage, not as much as the Tesla, and doesn't go back as far this way. So there is storage back here that's decent. You also have these switches that flick the seats forward. Tesla has the same thing right here, controlling each side. Shows you what that controls. Now, these seat back covers are great. These are from Lay's Fit. I have a discount code in the description. Let's show you their new product right now. So these are the Tesla Model Y mud flaps by today's video sponsor, Lay's Fit. I will have a discount code for them down in the description, but these are pretty nice. You can see how nicely they adhere to the back part of the bumper. They look OEM. They sit really flush and are sturdy. There's 2 push pins there and a third one on the bottom to make them really secure, and they come at all 4 corners. So these look really good. They were really easy to install, and I've worked with them before with their seat back covers in the rear of the car. They have a limited time promotion you can see on your screen there, and you can use my discount code that's in the description as well. So Lay's Fit, thank you for sponsoring the video. Another great and useful product that a lot of people get. You guys are gonna really enjoy this. It's gonna help protect this part of the car, which is a high impact area from the rocks coming up off the front part there. So that's nice. And then to have them in the back as well to protect people behind you from stuff hitting their car, or even tar and sludge slinging up on the rear of your car. Lay's Fit, nice job on this. And the discount code and promotion is in the description. Another thing as far as functionality goes, you can see we have this huge gear tunnel here. It takes up space, especially for the middle passenger. And you can also see that there's not a ton of space back here. Now, when we move over to the Mercedes, or to the Tesla, you can see there's a lot more space, and this is totally flat back here. So you have a lot more room for someone that wants to sit in the middle. These seats also have a reclining feature right here. So you can see you can sit a little more upright, or you can recline them. So you have a couple settings with the rear seats, but the Tesla overall has more space, more performance, and better software. So you can see what I'm getting at here is everyone's like, oh, it's not a luxury vehicle, it's a tech vehicle. But isn't tech luxury? Isn't performance luxury? No matter what luxury car you're driving, there's always some performance to them, and this kind of lacks in that department, and the Teslas blow it out of the water. All right, we got a groundhog laying on the road here. Hey, get back in there, don't be dumb. Groundhogs like that, why do they play on the road? I bet it's nice and warm and they like to lay on it. Maybe we need to pave patches in the middle of like the woods so groundhogs don't get run over as much, because I love them, you know, they're chunky and they run and it's great. Let's talk about driving the GLC. The number one thing that I hear, well, isn't the ride quality harsh in the Tesla? Couple things we need to address there. One, initially, yes, they were very harsh. I have a 2020. I have one of like the first 3,000 made. It is harsh. It's harsh. You can't deny that. It's harsh. Things you can do to mitigate that. Put 19-inch wheels on it. Get the smaller wheels from the factory. This has 18-inch wheels. So there's a lot of tire, and it just helps the car ride better. Not only that, the damping is much better in the GLC or in a luxury vehicle in general. Mercedes, BMW, Audi, they're all better than Tesla at making a suspension. It doesn't have an air suspension. It's not adaptable. It's just better tuned. Tesla has gotten better. They put a comfort suspension, they call it. They always come up with these like weird basic names. They have a comfort suspension. I have driven it. It is better. So things you can do if you're looking to get the Tesla and you're worried about the ride quality. Get the smaller 19-inch wheels. They're also more efficient, so you'll have better ride quality there. If that's not enough, you can get 18-inch wheels from the aftermarket. Make sure you get a good aftermarket. T-Sport line has some nice aftermarket wheels that are 18 inches. I feel like they are someone that is reliable and that you could buy from. So the ride quality in this, much more comfortable, even compared to my Tesla Model Y that I put an aftermarket comfort suspension on and spent $3,000. This is still more comfortable. So that is one thing where in terms of luxury, the Mercedes is far ahead. Now, the performance is not bad. Truly, it's not. I thought it was gonna be a lot worse. It's fine. It's not as lagging. You know, the numbers don't tell the whole story. The slowest Model Y is 5 seconds to 60. This is the slowest Mercedes at just over 6 seconds to 60. It has significantly less power. The Mercedes also, to get a all-wheel drive model, which a lot of people, you know, like to have just in case they get into snow or icy situation, the all-wheel drive model of the Mercedes starts at $49, so it's like $1,300 more expensive for the Mercedes. Keep in mind, annual oil changes, transmission fluid. Mercedes finds all kinds of things. My sister took her car this car into service in Mercedes. It cost her $600 for her service, and that was an oil change and some other things. But that's what you're constantly getting. Well, you know, you kind of got to get this $600. I didn't spend that much on charging my car for an entire year, but that's what one service cost was. Then on top of that, brakes, brake fluid, all that stuff. Whereas the Tesla, I've 60,000 miles. All I've done in the Tesla, 60,000 miles, is change the tires. I literally haven't done anything. And really all you have to do is maybe every 2 years, maybe service the brakes, not because they're worn out, but just to get them lubed because you don't use them that much because of regenerative braking. In this car, you're constantly using the brakes, you're constantly on them. It's a fairly heavy car and you're going to wear them out over time. Maybe you get 40 or 50,000 miles out of them and you're gonna have to do a brake service, which will be expensive from Mercedes-Benz. So yeah, ride quality is excellent. The power, it's fine. I don't think anyone's gonna complain about the power of this car. I actually thought it was gonna be worse, but it's not bad. So better ride quality than the Tesla, but the technology is antiquated. And you come in here and you're like, well, the new one has a different steering wheel. The new one looks better in this case, whereas the Tesla doesn't have that as much because it's so focused on software. The changes they make are minor over time, and that's good for the owner. That's what Porsche does. Porsche also does that. It's good for the owner because your car will hold value better over time, and little changes, people in the long term might like the slight differences that were changed from one year to the other, might make your car more sought after. There's little things that car nuts, and the Tesla community is all new to this. So the Tesla community will be as sick as I am in love with cars. Over time, it's coming. Another expense I didn't even think of. This is your backup Tesla key. Your main Tesla key is your phone. It says replace key battery currently on my display here. So I'm gonna go to Mercedes right now and replace this key battery and see what this costs. Your phone is your key and this is your backup key in a Tesla. Another expense you're never gonna have to mess with. Let's go see how much this battery costs. Now, I'd love to sit here and tell you that, oh, the key was $15 or $35 or whatever, $5, who knows? But the guy in the service department said it's your lucky day because I don't feel like walking to the other end of the building to print a receipt. So I got the key for free. So I think actually a lot of times they probably will do that for free. But again, just another thing, oh, the battery, I gotta get a battery. Another stress item to think about wearing and breaking down in this car can be a problem. Now, the nice thing though is, on road trips, you know how to do a road trip in this. You get in, you type in your destination. When you're low on fuel, you just look around and there's 50,000 gas stations. Now, when you go on a road trip in a Tesla, all you do is type in your destination in the native Tesla navigation, and it will show you your charging stops and how long you need to be at those charging stops. Now, generally, that system is very conservative. You make it to your next charger with plenty of charge. As you own your Tesla more and get more used to it and understand the charging network better, you realize how conservative that is, and you start to do it on your own like you do with gas stations. So as Tesla chargers become more prevalent throughout the United States and the world, you're going to be able to more easily charge up. So it does seem intimidating at first, and we've been driving gas cars forever, and it's comforting. You just go to the gas station, you get ripped off at the dealership, and you continue on with your life, and that's just how it is. But what I will say is, cleaning your car at home, plug it in, it's charged up in the morning. You never have to go to the gas station. There's little maintenance that has to be done to this car. So once you get in it and once you experience the driving and single pedal driving, meaning like right there, it's coming to this stop sign, I didn't hit the brakes. I just let the regenerative braking take care of that, and then I'm on my way. It is so relaxing and so precise. I'm about to drive into a rainstorm. It's pouring right here. Isolated thunderstorms. They literally meant that today. I just think that you're really going to enjoy this driving experience. Now, I don't care what car you get. And also, if you are going to buy a Tesla, I have my referral link down in the description. You get like $500 off if you buy a Model 3 or a Y, and then I also get points. So make sure if you're going to buy a Tesla, use a referral link, whether it's mine or your friends or whoever's. Mine's linked in the description. You can use it. Now you save money with it. You save $500 off, and I think it's $1,500 off, plus 3 full months of full self-driving if you use the referral code, so make sure you take advantage of that. I don't care if you use mine. I'm just making sure you're aware of that. And also what I was trying to say before is, I don't care if you buy a Tesla or even an electric vehicle in general. I just want you to understand the differences between it, because everyone says, oh, they're not reliable. Oh, they're going to catch fire and you can't put the fire out. It's like these things are so few and far between, but they sell online. Those videos go viral and they sell online, and they make headlines, which makes those companies money. And it's unfortunate that that's how the world works, but it does. It's my job that I made up to keep you informed of all of this, because these are great cars. I used it as my car as when I was a medical device sales rep, drove 3,000 miles a month, had no issues. It made my life better because I wasn't having to refuel all the time driving that much. I was able to plug in every night, reliably use a supercharger network. It's truly remarkable, and the Model S, X, 3, and Y are the top 4 most American-made cars in the world. So you're supporting your country too if you're in the United States. If you're not in the United States, we have factories in Germany. I think we're opening a factory. Like I own the company. It's like when people say on Twitter, they're like, as a shareholder, I like that. Like, stick your shares deep up there, you know? But anyways, I just try to bring you both sides of the argument. I think gas cars still have advantages in certain situations because some people just don't have the patience for electric, and if you're doing road trips and it has to be your only car. Look, if you have limited vacation during a year, you don't want to extend your trip. To give you an example, how much longer does it take on a road trip, you may be asking yourself. My friend Andrew just did a road trip, 700 miles, took an additional 1 hour and 6 minutes of charging. That's not that much, truly. And that's with the entry-level Model 3, and his only has 252 miles of range. The new entry-level Model 3s have 270 miles of range. So it's not that much. If you plan it out correctly, it's not a ton, but it does add time. I just drove across the country, 2,000 miles. That's 16 supercharger stops. It adds time. There's no doubt about that. But for the most part, if this is a secondary car, if you're using it to commute, there is nothing better than a Tesla Model 3 or Y for a commuter car. There's nothing better. That's not a biased opinion. That's nothing like that. It's just the truth. The technology, I'm not saying it's the cheapest. I'm saying it's the best option, the all-around best option, because you could probably get a Leaf or a Chevy Bolt. But if you work a job and it's stressful and you get in that at the end of the day, you're like, why don't I just work at McDonald's, right? And not that there's anything wrong with working at McDonald's, but because they do make, I mean, they have good nuggets. They have good nuggets. Like, people are like, oh, the pink slime. I'm like, the pink slime made me want those nuggets more. So I hope this video was helpful to you. Additionally, this car has a built-in security system. There's cameras. There's 3 cameras here, 2 cameras there, 2 cameras here, and a camera in the rear. I don't know how many that just added up to, but that's a lot of cameras. How many cameras does the Mercedes GLC have? Just a backup camera. There's so much that's built into this. The app is incredible. It has dog mode. It has camp mode. It has all of these different modes that pieces of technology that I don't know how these other manufacturers are going to catch up. And then with Tesla having incredible price elasticity, it's very hard to beat. It's like, I want to buy other cars other than a Tesla. One other one I really like is the Hyundai Ioniq 5N. That's an incredible vehicle, performance-oriented EV. The problem is you're gonna have to go to a dealership and buy it, and they're gonna say, well, these are limited, and we're gonna charge you $15,000 over. And you go, you know what, I'm just gonna get a Model Y Performance. That's what's gonna happen to those cars, sadly, very sadly. I may even go try and get one, because I love it so much. I love Hyundai's N division, but dealing with their dealership network, it's terrible. Hey, if you work at Hyundai and you're going to get one of those, send me a DM on Twitter or Instagram or something, let me know, because depending on what they cost, I might get one. But I'm not paying over MSRP. That's my only deal. Like, MSRP, that's my only deal. Is that fair? I hope this video was helpful to you guys. Now, if you want to learn a little bit more about the Model Y and my specific EV ownership experience, click this video right here. This is my 3-year ownership experience in a Tesla Model Y. I think that will be really helpful to you in your buying experience. Let me know what you think.